You had to get the last word.
All right,
Yeah.
looks like we are live. Hey everybody, welcome to Hump Day Hangouts. This is episode 45 with Semantic Mastery. Today is the 9th of September. We'll just go down the line here. How's it going, Chris?
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Hernan, what's up?
Hey everybody, it's good to be here. Adam, you look sexy with that cap, let me tell you.
Thank you. I don't always green screen, but when I do, I wear green clothes. So,
Yeah.
Right.
how's it going, Bradley?
I don't always green screen, but when I do,
I make sure I wear green clothing.
Bradley's doing the black screen.
Yeah, pay no attention.
I'm just waiting to see somebody like drift in from behind you, or just something creepy to happen. So, hey, and Marco's here. How's it going, Marco?
Hey, what's up?
All right, so I think we don't have announcements today. I've got nothing, unless you guys got something we want to run through before we jump into questions here today.
I've got nothing.
All right, let's do it then.
All right, cool. So today is all about you guys today. So let me go ahead and grab the screen, and I'll jump onto the questions, and we'll get right into it, as we often do. And all right, Sue Barrett, she's been asking a lot of questions, which is good. She says, "Hi Bradley, I'm still foggy about how the link juice goes from the YouTube channel and network back to my websites. I want to use the video syndication network to send traffic to my affiliate websites. Can you explain how it does that, please?" All right, Sue. Well, if you have set up an account, a network, the way that we train, then it ought to be apparent once you've posted to it. Now, Sue, I'm not singling you out here, but I can tell you that I've had some people contact me even after ordering done-for-you networks, and contact me to tell me that there was a problem with their networks, and use up several minutes of my time for me to find out that they hadn't even posted to their networks, and they were telling me that there was problems with them. And they were in checking the log files and the recipes and seeing errors in the log files and saying something's really wrong and I need this fixed right now because I purchased it and I've got a promotion, and I went in, and they sent me their login details. I log in and they hadn't even made a single post yet. And I said, wait a minute, did you try posting? Well, no, because I'm seeing this, and this. Well, how about you test it first? You know what I mean? So I'm not picking on you. I'm just saying, if you set up a network or you purchase one from us and we deliver it to you, and you make a post to your network, and oftentimes you'll have to make 2 or 3 posts because it's called priming the network in order for the recipes don't always work the first time. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 times before everything starts to function properly. So that's why we always talk about running some test posts through it first. But once you do, you'll see how the link juice flows back. Okay, the overview would be that there are links that we put within the content, the description area of the recipes, that automatically post when the post publishes across all the different properties, that puts a link back to the source. Okay, so that's how it flows through. Now, if you put a link in if you're using a YouTube network to push traffic to an affiliate page or an affiliate offer or whatever, then obviously you're going to want to put links either as an external annotation within your video, excuse me, or you're going to want to put links within the video description and then a call to action in the video to click the link in the video, the description below. And in that case, you'd be funneling all your juice back to your YouTube video to help rank the video, and then there would be a link and a call to action. Again, that's important to direct people to click the link to click over to your affiliate. So you're not actually pushing juice to your affiliate offer, but you would be funneling traffic over there, right? So your networks would be pushing juice back to your YouTube video, which will help your YouTube video to rank, which will generate the traffic, and you'll have a strong call to action if you've done it right, which will get people to click the link that takes them over to the affiliate offer. So hopefully that makes sense. But again, if you're curious as to how it works, then set up a network and do some posting and then take a look at it. Go check the profile URLs, okay, or go check the other properties and see the posts, and then just click on the links and just kind of get familiar with the process. Best way to get familiar with it is to build a network on your own first, and then post a couple posts to it to see how it works. Okay. Anybody want to add anything to that?
No, I think that you nailed it. You nailed it, Bradley, because syndication network is a really complex mechanism. It has so many moving parts, and it's just a matter of test. We usually deliver it. Our team deliver it like working because we test it out. Because before delivering it, And sometimes when you pass on the ownership of the networks, IPs and whatnot. So you need to make sure you test it all, and you go through the entire network to make sure that you're posting. And you can use something like, I don't know, SERP space, for example, to monitor your network. And that would be a good idea to add your network to SERP space to make sure that everything is working.
That's correct. And let me lock the screen over here real quick. Excuse me. All right. So yeah. So Sue, again, just I would test it first. If you haven't built a network, I know it's time consuming, but if you're planning on using IFTTT networks as part of your marketing strategy, I recommend that you do go through the process of building one network on your own. Even if you're ordering networks from us and you plan on ordering networks from us going forward, which I do recommend because honestly it's so time consuming. But if in going through the process of building out one network, at least one network, you'll gain a much greater understanding of how the whole system works. Okay, and I think that's important, and I reiterate that multiple times in the training, that I recommend you do it once or twice, and then from that point forward outsource it. But it just gives you an understanding of how everything works, how all the pieces fit together. Okay. She says also, I ordered a non-branded persona IFTTT network from you. So can I use this network to feed traffic to my 3 affiliate websites, or do I need one network for each website? I thought I answered this, Sue, already somewhere else for you, but for the benefit of everyone else, I'll go ahead and answer it again. So she ordered a non-branded persona network. Okay. Can I use this network to feed traffic to my 3 affiliate websites, or do I need one network for each website? Sure you can. Of course you can. You can use it. I recommend that you keep things themed. So if you have 3 related products or affiliate offers that you're trying to promote, and they're related, then it would absolutely make sense to use that one network for all 3. If they're completely different, if you're selling a golfing, how to improve your golf swing product, and then you're also selling a, I don't know, get 6-pack abs product, I don't know that those are related enough to want to put them on the same the same network. They could be, I suppose. It depends on what it is that you're, how you actually theme that non-branded network. When, once we deliver it to you, you can go in and edit it if you want. It really just depends on what your, what your overall theme of it's going to be. I would recommend, if you have 3 entirely different products for entirely different niches, products and solutions or whatever for different problems, then I would suggest that you have separate networks.
Hey, Bradley.
Yes.
We did the free TrustFlow webinar last night, and if it's ready, then we should share that link so that people can see why it's so important to theme networks and websites and to keep everything just on topic.
I think we can share the Adam Webinar Jam, the replay link, because it will. We haven't edited the replay or anything yet, though. That's not ready. But
yeah, I think we're gonna have something later this week, and we'll definitely send out people an alert. So if you're signed up for our email list, you hear about it. And if you're not signed up for our email list, go to our website and get on our email list.
So in the last part of this question, she says they are micro niches within a larger niche. Then yeah, then absolutely, Sue. That would you can promote all 3 products, because if they're sub products or subcategories of a broader niche, a broader category, then absolutely it would make sense, right? And that would actually be good, because then you could theme that network by just doing posts to it for those 3 different products, would actually reinforce the overall broader theme of the network, if that makes sense. Okay, so in fact, that's what I'm saying. Like in that case, it would be better to promote all 3 products from that same network, because you build authority to that network quicker than if you were to have 3 separate networks. Okay, so just remember, guys, theming is incredibly important. So you don't want to be this crap about building a general network other than for testing purposes. If you're testing keywords and the viability of keywords and SEO promotions, SEO campaigns, then having a general, just kind of a spam test network is fine. There's no problem with that at all. I recommend that you have one. But if you're going to be promoting affiliate offers or money offers, whether they're affiliate offers, client work, lead gen, whatever it may be, what you consider your money site or money channel, then I don't recommend that you guys, we always recommend that you have them themed, because that's going to get a heck of a lot better results for you. Okay. Adrian says, hi Bradley and the gang, I have a few questions. so we'll be as brief as possible. Just got delivery of my full 2-tier branded IFTTT network. You suggested the other week that my best method would be a branded network around my companion website and to send my videos through that. I sent my details for branding and all is great, but which YouTube account should I use? You should use the YouTube account. Let's see, I have my own branded YouTube account that is verified to my website. I now have another with the same branding but with a persona. I would rather use my own, but will this syndicate the same? Yeah, it should. Because if you set it up to where you're if you ordered the network from us and it was a blog syndication network, so in other words, you gave us the RSS feed from your associated website, right? And that's what we're using to feed the IFTTT network, and that's the trigger, is your blog feed. Then you can use whichever channel you want, and I would recommend you use the one that you've already associated to that website. So if you have your own YouTube channel that's been already tied to the associated website, then you just publish posts or videos, publish videos to your YouTube channel, then grab the embed code and go embed them onto posts on your main associated website, and that's going to trigger the IFTTT network. Okay? Whenever we build networks, guys, we build additional YouTube channels with each one of the personas. That doesn't mean you even got to use the YouTube channels. The whole reason why we do that is because YouTube gives us a semantic hub. You guys understand that? So YouTube gives us the ability to put all of our profile links on a page. It's the YouTube channel about page. And so we create the additional YouTube channels because it gives us the semantic hubs. And at the same time, it creates a Google Plus page, right, that we can also add all of our links to on the about tab of the page, right?
Right.
So that's why we do it.
Sorry, Bradley, but it will also give you another extra layer of verification, so to speak, if you then go to Gravatar, for example, or profiles like Behance or BuzzFeed. You know, they will allow you to log in or to authorize your YouTube channel. So that's another layer of verification. You know, you have all of those points of verification that they are saying this persona or this project, this website is for real. You know, so every time that you have the opportunity to add your profiles, like for example, sign up with Twitter or sign up with Google Plus, if you're logged into your page account, or sign up with your YouTube channel, you should do that.
Yeah, because that helps keep your account from being terminated.
Right, as well.
Yeah. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. Definitely use the channel that is already associated with that website, and then you post videos to your channel, then grab the embed code and go publish posts on your associated website, which will trigger your IFTTT networks. Okay. The other channel, the one that we created, you don't have to do anything with, other than I recommend building links to the About page, especially because that's where it links out to all of the other properties. Okay. All right. Number 2 is how deep into my network should I use CrowdShare? I'm assuming you mean CrowdSearch. It's a good cue, Adam, by the way. I'm assuming you mean CrowdSearch me. It's on every Is it on every property on every wheel, or just the Google properties? Well, it depends on how many credits you have, Adrian. If you have a ton of credits that you can afford to set up campaigns for all of your properties, you can do that. I typically don't. It takes a lot of setup, and it would burn up a lot of credits that way. So honestly, for videos, I do most crowd search campaigns direct to the videos. If I'm running traffic, what I call CT spam, click-through spam, to my website, then I typically will do it through, other than for navigational search purposes, which I'll explain that in a moment, but I typically will run that through a social media property, so it's referral traffic. Instead of straight click-through spam traffic going to my website, I run it through a social media link first, and that gives me referral traffic instead, and it's safer in my opinion. If you're going to be doing direct traffic to a website, then I recommend that you use navigational search terms and not keywords. And navigational search terms, guys, are the brand name or company name, the domain name. So, like, let's say it's Joe's, just as an example, let's say it's joesplumbing.com. Well, the company's name is going to be Joe's Plumbing, right? So, and one navigational search could be just Joe's Plumbing, and then the click-through would be to click through to the website. Another navigational search could be joesplumbing.com. If that was a domain anyway, somebody could search for joesplumbing.com in the Google search bar. That's considered a navigational. Another one could be Joe's Plumbing phone, or Joe's Plumbing phone number, Joe's Plumbing contact, Joe's Plumbing location, Joe's Plumbing plumbing repair, Joe's Plumbing Service, Joe's Plumbing Water Heater Service. That's a keyword plus brand. So those are still considered navigational searches, guys. So I think if you're running crowdsearch.me for YouTube videos, then you can go direct to YouTube. But if you're running them to a website, unless you're using navigational search terms, I recommend that you run them through social media properties. And just pick some of the ones that index easily. So what I mean by that is Twitter's actually a good one. If you can get the tweet indexed, then you can run traffic through a tweet back to your money site, and that's very powerful because Twitter is a great source of referral traffic because of the bromance, because of the bromance between Google and Twitter right now. But remember, if you take a post URL, so let's say that you publish a post on your money site and it syndicates out, it's going to have the same title, right? Sometimes what you can do is put like a hashtag or something in the content of the body of the post, and that makes it easily findable or searchable in Google's index once it gets indexed. Then you can set up crowd search to actually search for that hashtag in plus like the brand name. So again, Joe's Plumbing, and then say hashtag plumbing repair, or something that would be rather unique. Then Google will easily pick up those, and when you tell crowd search to do a search for that term, the brand name plus that hashtag, it'll come right up to the top. The posts will. It'll make it easy for the crowd searchers, the microtask workers, to find that post and click on it, and then click through the link back to your money site. Does that make sense? So there's a lot of advanced strategies. If you have crowd search, the video inside the dashboard was done by me and us here at Semantic Mastery. Just watch that. We talk about how to do all that. It's right inside the dashboard. You'll see a little Hump Day Hangouts icon. Click on that, and you'll see the advanced strategies for using crowd search. Okay. I have an RSS content curation software from Walt Bayliss. Is wondering if I could use it safely on my Tier 2 blogs to create content. Yeah, probably. Probably for Tier 2 stuff. I wouldn't do it on Tier 1. And if it is, could I safely connect these blogs to my main WordPress account to manage them? Could I safely connect these blogs to my main WP account to manage them? I'm not sure what you mean there, but if you can, yeah, if RSS content curation plugin or software or something like that on Tier 2, that should be okay. Just make sure it's themed, it's proper, it's topically relevant.
Yeah, sorry, Bradley. I think he's meaning the main WP. For I don't know how would that work because I'm not familiar with Walt Bayliss tool.
Main WP.
Yeah, main WP, the plugin.
Okay.
Yeah, the dashboard. So
yeah,
to whatnot.
Yeah, you can do that. Now I understand that he didn't have main capitalized, so I didn't realize that that's what he was talking about. Adrian, yes, you can do that. Just make sure you go into the advanced settings of main WP and check the option to hide the footprint. There is an option for that, and it will modify your htaccess code on each one of the blogs that are attached and deny anybody from being able to see the plugin on those blogs so that they can't make the connection. All right, it's very simple to do. If you don't know how to do it, just search for it on main WP's help files and you'll see it. Number 4, am I right in thinking that I do not need an attribution link when syndicating YouTube videos through my branded partner website? I'm thinking that is just for written content, but thought I would check. Well, no, if you're syndicating YouTube videos through your branded partner website, you're going to want the attribution link that's going to be pointing back to the posts on your site. Okay? So don't mess around with I mean, look, you guys can play around and test with the recipes all you want, but the way that we have the recipes set up in that account workbook template is the best way. So I mean, it's the most powerful way that we've tested, many different ways, and that's what gives the best effect. So if you're using the RSS2 recipes, which is what you use for the blog syndication, then that's going to have the attribution link, provided you're using the Yoast SEO plugin or our SMR, the Semantic Mastery RSS plugin. It's going to automatically provide the attribution link, which is what you want because it's going to push juice back to each one of your posts where your video is embedded. Right? That's really what you want to do. So when you publish a post on your blog and it syndicates out across the network, even if it's just your YouTube video and that's all that's on it, which is fine, then when it syndicates out across the networks, it's going to have the embed. Hopefully, it's going to also on the blog properties at least, but then it will also link back to that blog post itself. So you'll be pushing juice to that post page, which is where your video is also sitting. So you'll be funneling juice back into your video from the post page itself, where the embed sits on that post. Okay. So again, if you've ordered networks from us, Adrian, they're probably already set up, right? I should say they are set up right. You just need to publish content. If you're doing it on your own, use the recipes as we have them set up in the account workbook template. If you want to go ahead and modify them and play with them, that's fine. Just do that at your own risk. Okay. All
and
right,
also
thanks.
feel free to play with them. I mean, that's one thing. I've been seeing a lot of questions from people. You know, for some of this stuff, there is no one always right way. Some of the stuff, you know, you got to be careful what you're doing. But by all means, if you find something or you think it might work well, test it, try it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely test it. Just like I said, if you blow something up, then I don't want you coming back and saying, well, it didn't work and I lost, you know, this happened. Just test at your own risk is all I'm saying. We are not responsible for use of our IFTTT recipes outside of what we share with you guys. Okay.
Right. If you wanna test it out, which we do encourage, do it with properties or channels, or you know, hell, do it with parasites like WordPress.com or something that will output a feed. Do it with something that you don't really care about, so you can see what's going on. I mean, we do it all the time, but with stuff that it's not client related or money related in any way, you know. But you know, it's SEO playground. I mean, once you have that, you can do it. But remember to do it with. I've seen a lot of our students are attendees that they are doing SEO tests with their own websites. We don't recommend at all.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Test everything, but test it on stuff that you don't really care. If it works, then you can monetize it, Lisa, whatever you want to do. But first off, start your test with properties that you don't really care about.
Yeah. Yeah, you should always have at least a couple test sites, guys. And I even used, like I mentioned earlier today, test IFTTT networks or test syndication networks that you use for testing keywords, for testing recipe configurations, all that sort of thing. And you should have at least a couple, you know, at least one, but probably a couple different WordPress sites, self-hosted WordPress sites that you can use on like .xyz domains, which are still, I think, only $1 right now. Something that you can just test different plugins, different themes, you know, recipes, all that kind of stuff, because you don't, like what Hernan just said, you don't want to do that with money sites, guys. Don't be testing on those, you know.
Right. You can use subdomains as well.
That's
we
correct.
test a lot on subdomains, you know, for some plugins that you want to test it out and you want to see how they work. Just put it on a subdomain, install WordPress. That's usually free, and you have your testing playground.
Yep. Okay, Sue says, me again, guys. I still haven't worked out whether I really need a branded or unbranded networks. I have ordered a persona network from you, but have 3. Okay. It looks like that got posted twice, kind of. Yeah, I would recommend, in this case, Sue, we already covered this, so we'll gloss over this very quickly. If you've got 3 micro niche affiliate sites that are all in the same main topic or category, then go ahead with a persona network. Unless you want to create a brand, like, for example, if you wanted to create a brand that, you know, essentially a website or a business out of promoting products that are all similarly themed, and then you can create a brand. But personally, Sue, don't overcomplicate this. It seems like you're having a hard time, maybe because you're trying to overcomplicate it. Just get a persona network for now, okay? Just get a persona network for now, start publishing content. Once you understand the concept a little bit more through actually testing with it and playing with it, then you can start to worry about possibly setting up a brand. I recommend a brand long term, but for right now, just go with an unbranded persona network that you can use to promote related products. Okay? Don't overcomplicate it, guys. It's that whole paralysis of analysis thing. You know, just take some action. Start working with what you got. Keep it simple at first, and then you can build upon that. Brian says, do you have instructional videos on how to purchase Sape Links from sape.ru? Yeah, we do, but it's that's reserved for our mastermind members and also the RYS Academy members, Brian. Apologize for that, but we don't have anything that we want to share publicly for that. You have to be one of our mastermind members for that. Hernan thought you may have one but couldn't find it. Nice webinar last night. Sorry about the odd questions. Oh, no worries. No worries. But, yeah, we have Sape tutorials, but they're either inside of RYS Academy or Mastermind. If you're interested in that, you got to join one of those.
Yep.
Larry says, I know this question is a little vague, but don't you have any suggestions regarding or excuse me, but do you have any suggestions regarding best practices on ranking a car dealership outside of their local area? I have built citation links using WL Marketing and Yext listings, also using crowdsearch.me with a little success, running for about a month. Before I go any further, Larry, I don't know if you had seen the advanced training on that, but what I just talked about earlier with crowdsearch.me, if you use navigational search terms, that helps a whole lot with local stuff, especially because it just empowers, it makes the brand stronger. Okay, so use navigational search terms. That should help too. I don't know if you're using that or not. I'm just assuming that you're not, so that's why I'm mentioning it again. I've created one RSS for submission, and I again am working on more. Okay, I do have 3 IFTTT rings, and I'm working on more. I also have an EMD for surrounding areas, but have not done anything with the sites. I have seen the Silo County City service. Not sure what to put on the county page, city page. Any suggestions would be appreciated in building out an EMD if that is recommended for a car dealer site. Okay, so I'm not real clear on the questions other than what to put on the county page and the city page. Honestly, if I'm building out a silo, guys, and I set up a county page as like a top-level category, and then I use the cities as subcategories, which I do that a lot, then on the county page, I just talk about very broad topics of whatever the service is. In your case, selling cars, or how to find a good car dealer in XXX county. You know what I mean? And then put a bullet list or a table. Right, a table, either one, a bullet list or a table that lists all of the cities, and then you link, and so that would be a contextual link from that has the city name that would link over to those supporting pages, which would be the city posts or the city pages, depending on how you set it up. Okay, so that's all I do. It's a high-level discussion, or the content is a high-level description of what that service is. In your case, I guess would be selling cars, or how to find a good auto dealer, or whatever in whatever county, and then I would just have a list. We service all of we provide car dealer services or used auto sales in the following cities, and then you have a list of the cities, which would be links over to the city posts. Okay. Remember, on each one of the city posts or pages, then you would end up linking back up to that county page. That's is what creates your internal linking structure. On each one of the city pages, I would have some sort of local content that would be specific to those locations. Oftentimes, you can find something interesting about, excuse me, I got a spider running around. You can find something that's, unique or specific to the location, write about that, and then obviously write about car services there. Maybe something unique about a dealership in that particular city if you've got separate locations, whatever. Okay, you just got to make the page unique. If nothing else, just get different writers to write each post. They could all be just say, hey, look, I need a post about car dealer services or whatever and you just name the city and just hire. If you've got 8 different cities, hire 8 different writers, because then each post is going to be unique. Okay.
You know what I was just thinking, Bradley, when you mentioned this, when you mentioned the county, that would be the perfect place for an embedded RYS map with embedded videos and embedded links to each of the cities in that county that he's servicing, and those links would then go to the inner pages, and you're just feeding all of that power through to each city service.
Yeah. And also putting a Twitter widget in the sidebar or something would also be pretty good, because then you could have it retweet hashtags that have anything to do with the county or the city name. You know what I'm saying? So that would put actually relevant content that would be updated regularly on the post or the page. So that would actually improve it too. So that's something we can't. I mean, obviously, I can't show you how to do that right here, but Larry. But I think Larry's in the mastermind, isn't he? Because if so, that's something we could cover in the mastermind actually. Over the don't we have one this week, guys? I think we do.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah, we have one tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so any suggestions about building out the EMD if that is recommended for a car dealer site? I don't know. Typically, I wouldn't. I don't use EMDs really for anything anymore. I guess if you already have it and you want to use it, that's fine. Just be careful with over optimization. And I don't know. Would you be using it like a PBN or what? I thought you already had a site built, so I'm not quite sure what the EMD would be for at this point. Yeah, I'm not sure what you would be using that for, Larry. So I'm sorry, but I'm a little unclear on that. Okay. Chris says it's all yours. Oh, he's talking about this. I mean, look at Dr. Gary. He's been memed. That's awesome. It's about time, right?
That's cool.
Okay. Carlos says, what is the best WordPress plugin for protection from malware and hackers? I just use WordFence, and I use it because of main WP. It integrates with that, and so I have it across lots of sites, and it integrates there. So that's why I use that. But also, there's a really cool plugin that we've been playing with a lot. Hernan turned me on to it. It's called Hide My WP, and that will actually kind of make your site not look like a WordPress site, which is great. And it will also change the login URL, the wp-login.php URL.
Yeah.
So it makes that unique, which is a really smart thing to do. There's also a free version that will just do that, and I think if you just go to Google and you search change wp-login URL plugin right there. You click on that, and then it's a free. This is just a free version that only does that. But Hide My WordPress does a lot more to hide your site so it doesn't look like a WordPress site, which will also keep it from being attacked more often.
Right.
Another suggestion that I would give him is change your admin username from admin or administrator to something else, and then limit the login attempts.
Yeah.
Because that's where they're going to start. They're going to start with admin and administrator plus password. So if you change that to something that's hard to guess, that username, that's going to protect you a lot to start with.
I like to use 7 random characters for the username. I've found that sometimes, it depends on your host, but sometimes using more than that for the username can cause issues, but not always. It's been very rare. So I typically, just so you guys know, I typically use 7 random characters, upper, lowercase, numbers, and special characters, and I just use LastPass to generate it. So I don't know if you guys can see this, but LastPass, I just open it up and click on Generate Secure Password, and then I set it to right here to 7 characters, password length. This is just for the username. And I copy that and use that as the username for WordPress. And then for the password, I always set it to 16 or 18. 16 or 18 generally is what I use for my password. Okay. And like Marco said, if you limit your login attempts, which you can do right inside of WordFence, there's plenty of options inside of WordFence. Plus, you can inside of WordFence, you can have it block all IP addresses except for those that you whitelist to even access the WP admin area. So, essentially, you could go to, IP Chicken or whatever, what is my IP? I think if I, in this case, do this. If you go to ipchicken.com, it'll give you your IP address, and you could put that in the whitelist and then set the option to say all other IPs are blocked from accessing WP admin, and that'll stop people from accessing your site, too.
Yeah.
Right,
what I wanted to say as well, Bradley, is that those plugins like Hide My WP, they will automate some tasks that you can do manually, like changing your URL and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I found that having a password and I think Marco introduced me to this technique, having a password that has 4 words separated by a comma or a dot, something like my.strong.wordpress.password. That's something that you can easily remember, but it's not so easy for a bot to brute force it, So you can use something like that that's easily remember and that you can easily remember, and it's really hard for a bot to unlock all of those characters.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Mark O'Connell says, hi, Bradley. Just got through the IFTTT Academy training and am bursting at the seams to get going. Okay, great, Mark. He says, I hear you talking a lot about FCS and GSA, but my resources are very low at the minute. And don't worry, I'm not going to ask how many networks it will take to rank. He must have heard you. Thanks, Mark. Gold star for Mark.
Thanks,
+1
man.
now. But I'm ready to blast out as many as needed. But can I rank local long-tail terms that aren't too competitive with networks alone and a strong channel? Of course you can, especially for YouTube stuff. If you're going for long-tail stuff, and if you do your keyword research right, and you have a strong YouTube channel that you set up properly the way that we teach and you consistently post to it, which will build the authority, yes, you can absolutely rank with those alone. Okay? It's going to take some work, though. Remember that, but it will work, especially if you do your keyword research properly.
Invest in Power Suggest Pro.
Absolutely.
Best investment that you can make if you're low on funds.
And a lot of people were worried that wasn't going to work anymore because the API changed with Google Suggest, or they eliminated it, but it still works like a champ. It's totally worth it. Best keyword tool I've ever used. So, and it's inexpensive. No monthly costs or anything. Okay, I'd love to quickly build up a small income and reinvest that in the masterclass training and build a solid income from video. Love marketing, so would love your input on that. Cheers. Okay, yeah, Mark, go make some money and join us. We would be happy to help you out even further. Daniel says, Brad, in the training you mentioned only needing to use a blended RSS feed on Tier 2 and beyond in your IFTTT networks. Can you please clarify if this is correct and exactly what is necessary to use a blended RSS feed in these networks? Well, I may have said blended, but I also clarify, I know multiple times in the training that we don't actually use blended RSS feeds. We use multiple RSS feeds, but we set up separate trigger actions. I don't recommend blending the feeds or splicing the feeds because it will cause trigger errors and stuff plus you can't get the attribution link right if you do that. Whenever you guys are using a related content feeds for posting to a second tier network, Tier 2 networks, if you're doing that for blog syndication, then you got to make sure that the feed has an attribution link already in, as part of the posts. And if it does not, you have to code that in, or else you can get in trouble for that, for copyright issues. And one of our students had that very issue happen because he was unaware of that. I hadn't clarified that properly in the training. So if you go to the advanced strategy webinar, either number 2 or number 3, it's the very first, I think it was number 2, it's the very first part of the training where I clarified it specifically because of that. If you're going to be using other people's content feeds, then you need to make sure the attribution link is present. If not, you need to code that in yourself into the IFTTT recipe. It's very simple to do, and I show you how to do it. Okay? Go ahead.
Sorry, Bradley. We were using Yahoo Pipes for that. But unfortunately closed. I cried for a little bit when I figured out because I loved Yahoo Pipes. But right now I've been using a tool called feed.informer.com, which also has high DA. I think if we could put it on the event page, which it's a lesser version of Yahoo Pipes, but you can go ahead and try it out as well.
Yeah, and remember, if you're so don't use blended feeds is what I'm saying, number 1.
Right, yeah.
Okay. You're going to want to set up separate triggers. So let's say you have 3 additional content source feeds that you're going to use for Tier 2A, which would be your second tier network that's fed by Blogger, correct? So you're fed by your Tier 1 Blogger account. Then I would set up 3 additional RSS2 recipes as triggers. It would be RSS2 Blogger, right? So you essentially would be feeding additional content sources into your Tier 1 Blogger, because your Blogger RSS feed is going to be triggering your Tier 2 network. So each time one of those other content sources post, then it's going to publish or trigger your Blogger to post, and then that's going to trigger and thus trigger your Tier 2 network to post. So that's why I say do that. You don't want to use blended feeds. I can't clarify that enough. And make sure you're using separate triggers for each feed. Okay?
If you're going to use a feed from something like Huffington Post or anything like that, make sure you read the terms of service really well, because you will get a notice from them to stop using their curation. You're curating their content, and they curate content, but they'll complain that you're curating their curated content. Man,
yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true. You got to be careful. Just read the terms of service. If you're not sure, then you could always email the content source and ask them. On their, help desk, say, hey, look, I'm going to be republishing some of your content with proper citation. Is that possible? Because oftentimes I haven't had that problem, knock on wood, but yeah, Marco's right. One of our students said that they got a cease and desist order from Huffington Post, which is kind of funny because Huffington Post is just a curated content site,
Right. And another benefit that has, having several triggers is the fact that you can have different different formats of the feed. Some of them will post a little snippet, Some of them will post a longer snippet, like the first two paragraphs. I like to do that with Pinterest, for example, that will output a feed, and you will not only you will be adding content, related content from authority sites, but you will also be adding like little pictures from Pinterest and whatnot. So I like to do that because you will get that variation that it's needed when you're doing, because they will end up being auto blogs, for tier 2 onwards and whatnot. So I like to do that because of the variation that you will get with each feed.
Yeah. And by the way, just so you guys know that, excuse me, for tier 2 networks, I rarely use tier 2 networks on blog syndication or for blog syndication. I mainly use that just for YouTube stuff, and the reason why is because it requires a lot of extra work to set up those automated triggers for tier 2 and a lot of different content sources, and that also gives an opportunity for more opportunity for stuff to break down. So I generally don't do it because I've got too many sites that I manage. It just becomes a headache. If you have just a handful, a site or two, or just a small handful of sites, then absolutely you can do that. But I personally, for blog syndication, I usually just use a branded tier 1 network and then juice the hell out of it. And I mean pump it up, by building links to it like crazy. Use some of our more advanced strategies to push juice through our IFTTT networks back to the money site. But that way I keep it simple and prevent a lot of additional maintenance work to upkeep those tier 2 networks. For YouTube, it's quite simple, because for YouTube you don't need additional content sources. You don't have to worry about footprints, at least up until this point. Still today, it still works just fine to not have to worry about footprint issues. And that's the whole reason why we do that with the tier 2 networks for blog syndication, is for footprint issues, and also to just help continually keep those networks updated with related, topically relevant content, right? But now, like I said, if you've just got a couple sites or a handful of sites, by all means do it. But if you're dealing with multiple sites, guys, it becomes a bit cumbersome to manage that. Okay.
Yeah. And the problem is also that if you come across, a heavy feed, a feed that it's like constantly updating, if you're syndicating out, for example, a YouTube channel that's getting updated like constantly, you will get your IFTTT accounts shut down or hammered.
That's right.
Because of the amount of content that you have over there,
Yeah,
So,
this site, well, you can use that. Like we used to use Yahoo Pipes to set up filters for feeds, so that if you have a content-heavy feed like what Hernan's mentioning, you could set up filters that would only allow certain posts to pass that contained a keyword, or you could set up exclusion filters, which means it would exclude certain posts that contain keywords. But obviously, Yahoo Pipes is no longer available for us to create, to use. So this is a good alternative. It's called FeedRinse. It's just feedrinse.com, guys. But you can use this to set up filters to limit the amount of posts that a particular feed is producing. Okay, it's a pretty good source for that. We've got a lot of questions coming in today, guys. We're almost out of time too, so I'm going to try to run through the next few a little bit quicker. Brian says, "What is the best source to use for curated content? Google News or Google Trends?" Actually, I do Google searches and find other blogs that are related to my niche, and it's a kind of a manual process. I have VAs do it now, but they just will go search based on the content source, the topic or the theme, and then find additional related blogs that also post about the same things, and then just copy the RSS feeds manually from there. Right, and one of the best things, guys, when in doubt, go to Google, right? So, like, just for example, let's say that you're in the home improvement industry of some sort, electricians, HVAC, plumbers, whatever. It doesn't matter. Let's just say that you need content sources for that. Then I would just go to Google and type in like the top 10, or you could do top 25, something like that, and say like home improvement blogs. Right? And most of the time, unless it's an obscure niche, and then you're going to have to do a little bit more digging, but for most of the time, if you type in like top 10, whatever your niche is, blogs, it'll give you, you'll come up with these list posts that will list, look at this, the top DIY sites for home improvement, the top 10 best renovation websites, the 101 home improvement blogs, right there. There's an exhaustive list right there, and it took me 2 seconds to open that, do a search. And here, guys, look at this. There's 101 home improvement blogs there that I could go to and find, and find RSS feeds that I could use for curated content. Okay. If you have access to BuzzSumo, I know there's a free version. We actually just opted for the paid version because I really like BuzzSumo. BuzzSumo will help you to find a lot of really good content sources too, and stuff that's really popular. BuzzSumo is really, really powerful. So I do recommend you use that to find content stuff too, because there's a lot of like analytics and stuff that go into BuzzSumo if you have a pro account. I don't know, probably a lot of that's limited on the free account, but BuzzSumo is an amazing tool. So
yeah, you have a limited amount of queries a day, but yeah, you have a lot, and what's more, you have the most viral content, you know, which you don't necessarily need to depend on Google and your SEO only to bring traffic. I mean, if you curate highly viral content, you will get rewarded. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Daniel says quite a few people are suggesting that link indexing services now are no longer working and not worth paying for. Can you give us your view on them and whether or not they are still worthwhile using? It depends on the indexing service, Daniel. You know, I use them to automate indexing my Web 2 posts using the backlinks commando plugin and then backlinks indexer, which I found to be about the best. There's two indexing services that I use, and I'm sure that Hernan uses others as well. But I use Backlinks Indexer, which is Dan Anton's product, the same creator as crowdsearch.me, and I also use 1 Hour Indexing, which is it uses a different method to index. They won't explain what it is, but I've had some pretty good results with that one too. And overall, I've tested probably a dozen indexing services, and those are the two that I've stuck with over time that continually work for me. They still do work. Excuse me. They still work better than not indexing at all. Especially with Web 2 posts, guys, sometimes they take weeks to index on their own. So if you're setting up a bunch of IFTTT networks and your posts aren't getting indexed from the Web 2 posts, then it's not producing the results that it should. So we kind of force it along by sending the post URLs automatically using the Backlinks Commando plugin with the Backlinks Indexer service, and it will get those things indexed a hell of a lot quicker, which will give you better results. So I still use them. I still pay for them. I think there is still an added benefit there because otherwise they just take forever to index.
Yeah, and well, we probably mentioned this on previous Hump Hangouts, but if you're using something like Backlink Commando, that will automate the entire, stripping the links out of your IFTTT networks. That's pretty powerful plugin. Because you just plug the RSS feeds from your entire IFTTT network, and you can further syndicate that because it will create another RSS feed, and it will automatically ping them and send them to something like Linklicious or OnlyWire, whatever you're plugging into it. So it's pretty interesting. If you guys don't know it, just go ahead and check it out because it's really cool.
Yeah, Adam, you didn't drop that link, did you? Adam's busy, apparently. Here, I'll drop this at the top of the page.
I already did.
Oh, you did? Okay, so you fast draw. That's the fast draw.
There you
go. Chick says, hey, Bradley, wondering what is the recommended fees for setup and recurring on the 4 different IFTTT network options, and are you guys cool with swiping of the network images, rings for reselling the service on my own agency site? I personally don't care. Chick, go make some money, man. Do any of you guys care? If they swipe the just take... I mean, I honestly, as long as you're not selling it as an info product, I don't care.
And charge what the market will bear, man.
Yeah. If you're selling it for clients, like if you're building networks for clients and you want to use our images, feel free. But if we find out you're selling info products with our images on them, then we're coming after you, and we have people that will break your kneecaps. But
yeah.
But if you're just going to be reselling to clients, by all means, man, take the images, use them. Just do what you want with them. Okay. As far as the pricing options, Chick, what I do for local clients is for a Tier 1 branded network only. I'll sell it from $7.97, which is my cost me about $50 to have them created, and I sell them for $7.97, and I have an outsourcer do it for me. So you can imagine that's quite a profit margin on it. And sell a couple dozen of them a year at least. Right now, I'm not selling near as many because I'm not courting clients, but when I do, typically then I'll sell a bunch of them. So if I'm setting up a full 2-tier network for clients, which again I rarely do, only because it's blog syndication, then I will do it for about $1,250. That might not seem like a lot compared to selling $700 for branded. And Marco always tells me I sell them for way too cheap.
We had a student, Bradley, that sold, what was it, a 2-tier or something like that?
Yeah, it was a 2-tier for $19.95.
1995, yeah.
Forgot about that. Yeah, I posted the check. That was awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he sold it to a realtor for just under $2,000 for a full 2-tier network. So, hey, sell it for what the market will bear, right? Like what Marco just said. You know, certain industries have deeper pockets, so you can sell them for more. I just put $7.97 on my local client consulting business website because it's just a nice number and quite a profit margin. But as far as the other options, typically I usually will do custom quotes. The tier 1 rings are $7.97. That's it. If they want something else, depending on the client, I will give them a custom quote. So that's what I recommend doing. Honestly, guys, I don't like having price tags on services for clients because I like to charge based on the competition level, how much work's going to go on it. And when you have, boxed solutions, they rarely work. You either work too hard for that money or you are overcharging or whatever. And so I usually do custom pricing for most everything I do. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. Daniel asked about contextual interlinking to increase juice flow. We don't have a lot of time to get into that. However, I'm pretty sure that the videos about siloing that I did, I'm pretty sure those will have, let's see if I can find those real quick. Do we have those saved anywhere? Do you know?
Sorry, which one are you referencing?
The simple and complex silo structures, because I'm pretty sure I go over interlinking in those.
Yeah, let me check. I might have put those up
I think they're on my channel. That's why I think they're on my channel, not the Semantic Mastery channel. So let me just see. Simple silo. I'm almost positive they're on my channel. Yeah, here we go. All right, so what we'll do is we'll drop these two for you specifically. Daniel, we'll drop these for you so you can. I'm pretty sure I cover interlinking for silo structures in here, and that's pretty much the best I can give you. If I do not cover it in there, then let me know, and maybe I'll cover that, or I'll find it in one of our other webinars and cut it out or something for next time. Or if you're in one of our other groups, grab it. Ping me in one of those groups and see what we can do. Can you grab the URL from that, Adam, inside of Slack? I don't know if you can. Yeah, I guess you can. There it is.
Yeah, good.
We're using a new chat service, guys, and I'm not quite up to speed yet.
And I push it really hard, so I'm digging it. I'm digging Slack, to be honest.
Those are like old people using Facebook. Jesus.
Sue says, so the only link to my affiliate website is on the YouTube channel itself, not the individual's videos. Yes, no, Sue, that's not what I'm saying. You can have the affiliate website as your main associated website, which will show up on like your about page and everything else. For example, if we go back to, let's go here, this is my channel, right? So come on, dashboard. If we go to view channel, you can see, and I don't have any art, I know, but you can see Semantic Mastery is my link right here. You can do that, okay? You should do that. You should have that go to your affiliate website if that's your main affiliate website. But within each video, you're also going to want to put a link to the affiliate offer that you're promoting in the video, right? Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. You definitely want a link on your YouTube channel that kind of passes authority anyways, going to your main website. But in each video, you're going to want to put a link to your affiliate offer, because that's what you're doing, right? You're going to be driving traffic with the videos to your affiliate offer. So you want to put a call to action. If your affiliate offer is on a page on your associated website, you can set up an external annotation, which means you can have a clickable link right inside the video that will take people to that specific page. Do not put first of all, you can't put a direct link to an affiliate offer inside the video anyways. It won't let you. But if you have an associated website, I know in the past I've done this, but I don't recommend this, guys, because it'll get your channel shut down if they catch you, if YouTube reviews it. But do not set up a redirect URL from your associated website to the affiliate offer. Instead, create what's called a bridge page on your own domain that is connected as your associated website. Set up a bridge page where then you do a product review or whatever, and then you can have a buy button or a link over to the affiliate offer direct on that page. Okay, because otherwise, and again, that's if you're using external annotations. And Sue, obviously, you're probably not at that level just yet, so I recommend just putting a call to action in the video that says click on the link in the description below and have that link go to the affiliate offer or to a page on your site.
Right. And we have discovered there are so many benefits of having a bridge page, like retargeting, for example, or creating an authority, or grabbing an email, or pre-selling the offer. It depends on the price. But yeah, I would recommend direct linking. Is like you could do direct linking. I mean, that's what you're advising to do, which I think it's right. If you're using your website to pre-sell the offer, that's even better.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're out of time. So obviously we had a lot of questions today, guys. What I recommend is the next week, guys, post your questions early. We try to get the events page up by Friday. Sometimes it doesn't go up until Monday, but that gives you guys a couple days to get in ahead of time and post your questions. So we apologize for all the questions that did not get answered, but we only have an hour. So.
And one of them did get answered. Daniel S. Go to our website and check out the blog post that we made today. And you probably should have gotten an email about it. If you are not signed up for our email list, hop on that. We made a post about best practices for local SEO, NAP, NAP issues, and that's exactly what you're asking about. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, guys. Well, hey, thanks everybody for being here. Masterclass starts in 5 minutes. We are going through. We're actually going to do like a whole hands-on training today for Masterclass, guys. So you should be excited about that for the affiliate case study. So that's going to be kind of cool. We'll see you guys in just a few minutes. Mastermind members, we will also see you tomorrow for Mastermind. So thanks for everyone being here. Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.